Hey there, Jordan Sheridan, live to you from New York. It is Wednesday, October 24th, and obviously a very, very busy day in the news. I am live on YouTube. I am live on Facebook. I am live on Periscope. And I am excited to report what is a very, very big day in the news. If you've been living under a rock in America, there has been quite a lot of tension and worried people today, including some of the most powerful politicians in America. So while I wait for YouTube to notify people that I am indeed live, let me put our Status Coup GoFundMe link in the description here so you can support our reporting if you so choose. Support our reporting GoFundMe. And I will also put CNN, bombs, Obama, Clinton in there. Okay. So, this morning, I was getting ready to go to physical therapy. I had back surgery a few months ago, so I've been doing physical therapy. And I saw that there were packages or suspicious devices sent to the homes of former President Barack Obama and former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. So that was the news. And this comes off the heels of basically a bomb being sent to George Soros's house, the billionaire Democratic funder who has funded the Democratic Party, has funded a lot of other things that are kind of shady. So you had Soros, I believe 2 days ago. You had Obama, Obama's house this morning, the Clintons this morning. And then I saw, I had CNN on because I like to torture myself, and I saw that a fire alarm went off, I believe in the 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. Oh, wow, look at that. I put in the headline, George voter suppression instead of Georgia. Thank you, Jen, for catching that. Let me change that. Maybe it's because I'm in intense pain. Maybe that's why. I need a root canal, but I need to wait several days, so my tooth is killing me. So if you're feeling charitable in the super chat, I could use your funds because I'm going to have to pay over $3,000 for this damn root canal because we don't have Medicare for all in this country, which would include dental. So this tooth right now feels like an electric shock in my mouth. So if I'm stuttering, sorry. So basically, around 9 o'clock in the morning, I saw on CNN that they had some type of fire alarm go off. And I immediately thought it was kind of odd because there's a fire alarm going off while there's bombs being sent to the former presidents of the United States, Barack Obama as well as Hillary Clinton. Barack Obama as well as Hillary Clinton and President Clinton. So I thought that was very, very odd. Very odd. And you don't normally see... Hold on. You don't normally see fire alarms go off on live cable news. If there's a fire alarm in the building, usually it doesn't show up as... Hold on. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. So usually you don't see it on live cable TV. So, in fact, my younger brother just started. Thank you, Andy, starting us off on the Super Chat, $4.99. My younger brother just started working in the Time Warner building where CNN is. He's not working for CNN, so let's not attack my good brother, Jared Sheridan. Love you, brother. But he just started this week working in the Time Warner building. So I texted him and I said, hey, I hear there's a fire alarm or whatever. And he tells me, this is before CNN reported it, that there's some type of bomb in the building. So I'm saying to my younger brother, Jared, get the hell out of there. What are you doing? Run. Because, I'm thinking a bomb could go off in CNN. And of course, I care about my brother. And, I don't like CNN. I think it is propaganda. But I also don't want anyone at CNN to get hurt. Okay? I'm not a big fan of President Obama. But I don't want President Obama or his wife, Michelle Obama, to be blown up. I'm sorry. I don't. I am not a fan of Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton. But I don't want anything bad to happen to these people. And I've seen some vile tweets today from some progressive people too, saying, "Oh, good, they wish they exploded." I think what's great about the progressive explosion in America, the exploding progressive movement, is we have had a peaceful progressive movement. You ain't kidding, Shiva. This toothache is like the worst. Other than my back pain before surgery, this is probably close to it. It's terrible. Anyway, so I'm communicating with my brother because, there's a bomb threat or a bomb in the Time Warner building where CNN is. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this doesn't seem like, some moron. This seems like a coordinated attack. You have what was apparently a pipe bomb sent to George Soros's home. You have what were devices that could explode sent to Obama, the Clintons. You had a pipe bomb sent to CNN. There was also a suspicious device. I don't know if it's confirmed yet whether it was an explosive device, but sent to Debbie Wasserman Schultz office in South Florida. That had to be evacuated. There was apparently suspicious devices sent to Maxine Waters' office. There was apparently a device sent, I don't know if it was to former Attorney General Eric Holder's office. And interestingly enough, the pipe bomb that was sent to CNN, it made it into the building, into the mailroom, said, attention CNN, care of John Brennan, former CIA director. So it's very interesting. So I've seen, I've seen all the people saying, well, first of all, let's just say, to our knowledge, nobody has been hurt and none of these devices exploded. So that's good. I think we all need to agree, and I don't want any viewers or any supporters that wish violence on other people. I don't like Hillary Clinton. I think she recklessly voted for the Iraq War, and she has helped cause the death of millions around the world. I don't like Bill Clinton. His policies were very, very damaging to people that I care about. I don't like Debbie Wasserman Schultz, but it's a step too far. It is a step too far when you start being happy for or wishing violence on political opponents. We are not right-wing, far-right lunatics, and we should not wish that upon anybody. So if you are excited about that, this is the wrong channel for you. Just keeping it real. I don't want that, and I hope you don't want that. We're going to beat them with our ideas and our activism and our momentum, not with violence. But I have seen, there's quite a lot of people out there saying, false flag. They think this is some, conspiracy by the Democratic Party to, gin up anti-Trump, anti-far white, fervor ahead of the midterm elections. I'm not in the business of speculating. There's no evidence of that. It's possible, but I don't have any evidence to support that. So I'm not going to speculate on that. I think there's good chance it might be a far right person. But then again, there was also a suspicious device sent to the White House. So, if it was the Democratic Party and some type of false flag, I could see why people think that, but I don't see it being that consistent, because why would they send it to the White House then? They would want all the sympathy on them, and they would want all the hatred and all the fear to be on. They would want all the hatred and the animosity and the gossip and the fingers pointed at far right Republicans. But that would be a stupid plan if you're sending something to the White House too. So I don't know who it was. I really don't. But to me, it makes sense that it was all either the same person or the same group. And I find it interesting that they put care of John Brennan on the package that went to CNN. First of all, John Brennan is a commentator for MSNBC, not CNN, so they got the wrong building. But you have John Brennan they sent a package to, who oversaw the drone wars. You have President Obama, who they sent the package to, who okayed and approved all that droning. You have Hillary Clinton, who obviously was a part of that as Secretary of State. So, honestly, at this point, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know who it was. I don't know the reasons. To me, if you put a gun to my head, and please don't, probably a right-wing lunatic. I don't see any evidence that it was a false flag, and I think it would be irresponsible as a journalist to start stoking that. So I'm not going to. You could go to other places, and for that, I'm not going to do that. The notion that George Soros would send a bomb to himself and then orchestrate this to other people, I think is pretty far out there. Pretty far out there. But I do think this is somebody who is obviously hates, I would say hates the Democrats. And I do think it is a person that might have wanted to hedge their bets and to not give off who it was or leave a trail. They wanted to send it to Democratic people as well as the White House. And yes, people are asking, there was something sent to the White House. There was something sent to the White House. So, what do you think? What do you think? Leave me your comments in the super chat. I mean, CNN is, I bash CNN quite a bit, and I enjoy doing it. I can't bash them for covering this all day because there was a pipe bomb that made it inside. My brother works in that building. Again, he just started there, working in the Time Warner building, not for CNN, thank God. But I always call him a corporatist jerk-off anyway. But we're very close, so I'm glad that he didn't get blown up today. I was worried about him. We were texting. He got the day off, too. They sent everybody home. But, I also want to address Trump's response. What did Trump say? Let's play this here. Here we go.
No matter what, Enterprise can help.
After the Enterprise.
You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes
Oh,
next.
these ads. Sorry, folks.
Love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
I'd like to begin today's remarks by providing an update on the suspicious packages and devices mailed to current and former high-ranking government officials. The safety of the American people is my highest and absolute priority. I have just concluded a briefing with the FBI, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and the U.S. Secret Service. As we speak, the packages are being inspected by top explosive experts, and a major federal investigation is now underway. The full weight of our government is being deployed to conduct this investigation and bring those responsible for these despicable acts to justice. We will spare no resources or expense in this effort. And I just want to tell you that in these times, we have to unify. We have to come together and send one very clear, strong, unmistakable message that acts or threats of political violence of any kind have no place in the United States of America.
Oh my God. Well, how eloquent and inspiring by President Punch Them in the Face, right? Before I get into Trump's hypocrisy and totally ridiculous comment there, just a correction, because I'm getting an update that although at first there were reports that something was sent to the White House, the FBI says after all there was no device sent to the White House. So my apologies for that. My bad. I'm blaming it on the root canal. There was nothing sent to the White House, which does kind of change my opinion here. Does kind of change my opinion a little bit, because really what you have then is packages all sent to Democrats. All sent to Democrats. There was no package sent to the White House. So, you have two options: a right-wing extremist, ginned up by Trump, and Trump bashing CNN, or a false flag from the Democrats. Again, I'm not going to speculate because we don't have any information, and I think it's irresponsible as a journalist to speculate. I don't know if it's a false flag. I highly doubt it. I think that's conspiratorial with no evidence. I'm all for conspiracies if there's evidence to lead to it, but the evidence I have is there were bombs and suspicious packages sent to some of the most hated Democrats in the country that Trump has gone after time and time again. Maxine Waters, he calls an idiot or illiterate on the campaign trail. Barack Obama, he's gone after time and time again. Crooked Hillary, he's gone after time and time again. He's gone after former Attorney General Eric Holder. He has gone after Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And of course, he has gone after CNN repeatedly. So it makes sense to me that this was probably sent out by somebody inspired by President Trump. And the fact that there wasn't anything sent to the White House, there was some reports earlier that there was. Apparently that has been confirmed was not the case. So my apologies for that. Who knows? Who knows? But I don't see any evidence yet that it was a false flag. I think it's more likely than that to be a right-wing lunatic. But, if it's a right-wing lunatic, Trump will kind of condemn it. If it's a brown person, holy shit, we're going to war, folks. We're going to war. If it's a brown person, if it's a brown person, we're going to war. If it's a black person, he's sending the National Guard through the streets. If it's a white Republican with, pictures of Bill O'Reilly in his living room, we discourage this kind of behavior you'll get from Trump. But I want to point something out. And as a reminder, folks, this is a super chat. This is a super chat. And I got a $3,000 root canal to pay for. Show me the love if you got it. And also, we are launching Status Coup officially this Sunday. Boom. Status Coup live stream Sunday, noon Eastern. Be there or don't talk to me again. Sunday, noon Eastern, we're launching statuscoup.com. We are going to do a live stream. I'm going live until I can't breathe anymore. We will have some surprises for you. YouTube.com/statuscoup, where you are right now. We are going to be launching the site. We will have some original reporting for you at launch. We will have some introduction videos so you can get to know me, Jen, Ty a little bit more. We will also have a membership section so you could become a member, and I'm going to beg you to do so on Sunday. And also, we will be pushing our GoFundMe, which currently is at $13,265. $13,265 between 227 people. Our overall goal is 50,000, but we're trying to get to 15,000 by the end of October. We think we could do it, but we need your help. So we're going to need some heavy hitters, and we're going to need some lower hitters. Some lower hitters too. And I'm excited to show you some additional swag that we're adding to entice you. Here is the Status Coup swag bag. So people who contribute $200 or more are going to get that bag with some goodies in it, including signed goodies. So this is the Status Coup bag. There you have it. We also ordered some Status Coup pens if you're feeling studious. If you're a student, or you write for a living, or you just like to draw, there's a Status Coup pen for you. I think the swag bag is pretty cool. I might rock that, even though I'm not a woman. But I really like it anyway. And again, please join me on Sunday, noon Eastern, for the Status Coup launch, statuscoup.com. We're going live, baby. We'll do it live, as Bill O'Reilly infamously said. So I'll tease that again later on. But definitely, if you're feeling super, leave some bucks in the super chat, and also the GoFundMe as a reminder. $100 gets you a Status Coup hat or shirt. 127 gets you both. $200 will get you that swag bag with some signed goodies in it. So, I think, tote bags are unisex, not just for women. It's the tooth. I can't think clearly. I apologize. And to my Facebook people, all 22 of you watching, we want to see you as well. We'll be on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope on Sunday, starting at noon Eastern, live marathon. I'll go as long as you'll have me, as long as I have breath. We are going to do topics. We are going to do Q&A. We're going to show you some videos. We're going to show you some reporting. It's going to be fantastic. Carrie on Facebook says, "Oh God, root canal is so very sorry, Jordan. Get it done ASAP." Yeah, I tried not to because it's like $3,000 and I don't have dental insurance at the moment, but I can't go on with this pain. So either I'm going to have someone pry it out of me or I'm going to have a dentist do it. We'll see. So I want to get back to this because, listen, the bottom line is this. Whoever sent these bombs, and my gut is it was a Trump supporter. I don't have any evidence, so it's just speculation. My gut is it was a Trump supporter. Let's not fool ourselves. What the president said, we condemn all acts of political violence, is complete and utter bullshit. This is a man during the campaign who said to his supporters, "Punch him in the face. I'll pay your legal fees." This is a man who just last week basically complimented a congressman who punched a reporter in the face and assaulted him. Right? This is a man who basically supported a Supreme Court nominee who was accused by multiple women of sexual assault and misconduct. So this is a man who has stoked fears. This is a man who has urged his supporters to get up in the faces of journalists. And I think journalists, all journalists, whether corporate, whether independent, should have to deal with criticism. But criticism is different than physical confrontation. He has urged his supporters to confront the fake media and call them the enemy of the people. Now, I'm not big on Hitler comparisons because I don't think Trump is comparable to Adolf Hitler. But if you study fascism, if you study the auditory and the articulation of fascists, what Trump has been communicating to his supporters all over this country is remnants of fascism. It is. Now, he's not sending anybody on trains to their deaths, so I'm not saying he is Adolf Hitler, but his words are stoking violence. You want to know why? Because I covered about 40 to 50 Trump events and rallies on the campaign trail, and he was stoking and urging his audience to confront journalists and to confront political opponents. And I recall very vividly, while I was at the Young Turks, I was covering his rally in Burlington, Vermont, right Bernie's backyard. And Trump supporters that I was interviewing and challenging journalistically on their ridiculous logic got in my face and pushed me. That happened twice on the campaign trail. I didn't get assaulted. It was an assault, but I've been pushed by Trump supporters, and I've had plenty get in my face. So I don't want to hear from Trump about, lowering the temperature and we need to be united while he stands up there and talks about imaginary delusional caravans coming to kill you from the Mexican border. As he stands up there and fear mongers on Middle Easterners in the caravan. And as he stands up there calling the media the enemy of the people, I think the corporate media is the enemy of the facts. I think the corporate media is the enemy of truth. I think the corporate media is the enemy of working people, but I do not think the corporate media is the enemy of the people. I do not think that journalists or anyone at CNN, at MSNBC, at the New York Times, at the Washington Post, or any of these places deserve violence on them. Being bad at your job, being a hypocrite, being a fake journalist is not a death sentence, and is not something where violence should happen on you. And sorry, I don't want any supporters of Status Coup or me or Jen who believe that. So if that's something you believe, there's the door. We don't want you. We don't want you. We have to be better than lunatic, alt-right, crazy fascists. And it's not the way we're not going to get our progressive ambitions and dreams implemented with violence. We're just not. And if you study protest movements in world history, the ones that were successful were nonviolent. The ones that were not successful were violent. So that's what I think. I think Trump, whatever the case, whoever, and I don't want to speculate. I don't know if it was a false flag, and I certainly don't know. if it was a right-wing lunatic. My thought, now that I know that it wasn't sent to the White House, is it most likely was a right-wing lunatic, because it was sent to all of the leading scum in the Democratic Party: Obama, Clinton's, Attorney General Holder, and Maxine Waters, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And it's tough for me because I think all of these people, in their own special way, have done incredible damage to this country. So don't confuse me saying there shouldn't be violence perpetrated against them with me defending them as politicians and public servants. No, they're all servants of the banks. They're all servants of big oil. They're all servants of big pharma. They're all servants of the police industrial complex. Thank you, Desi Murgy, $10 in the super chat. False flag or not, understand that with DWS, this will be pinned on the Bernie left, especially if they cannot find the person quickly. Also, a root canal is a great excuse to become a vegetarian. Really? Is meat causing my tooth problems? Because I thought my tooth problems are because I had eaten a lot of candy in my young age. I got to expose something to you all. I am a real sucker for Nerds. You know that candy, Nerds? I used to eat Nerds like every day for at least a year, straight, every day for a year. I'm surprised I don't need root canals in all my teeth. So, yes, it's very painful. I'm working through it. I took some Tylenol extra strength, but I think I'm going to have to go get something stronger than that. And Jen is my personal pharmacist. She tells me what to get. So I'm going to have to get something stronger because this is fucking killing me. So, and for sympathy, you should super chat me and go fund Status Coup. And by the way, folks, I can't announce where, but we will be hitting the road. Jen and I will be hitting the road next week. Ty will not join us because his neck and back are messed up. So Jen will be my cameraman, and maybe I'll be her cameraman too. She'll do some on-air stuff. We are hitting the road. Won't tell you where we're going, but I will tell you what we're going on the road for is probably the biggest story of my career. I would think that Jen can leave a comment in the chat. Probably the biggest story of her short career. And I think that once we break it on the road next week, you are going to realize what Status Coup is about. It's big. It's huge. Huge. And it involves massive government corruption. And it involves environmental genocide. So, an early I'll have to shave before we go. I'm getting a little yucky. So, folks, before I move on to the next topic, I want to take your comments, questions, concerns. What do you think of this bombing? What do you think? You think it's an alt-right lunatic? You think it's a false flag? You think it's George Soros? You think it's me? What do you think? Leave your comments in the live chat. Facebook, what do you think? I want to know. Ashley Moore says clove oil. Seriously, will take the pain away. Where do I get that? Where do I get clove oil? I've never even heard of that. Clove oil. That sounds good. Nooch Pinying says, you know how you interviewed Donna Brazile? How about doing that with the corporate journalists? Oh, let me tell you something, Nooch. Corporate journalists, when they see me and when they see the people that will be joining Status Coup, they will be sprinting faster. Your head will spin, as Donald Trump says. But we have a lot of plans. Paul, I think saying it is a false flag or Soros is like saying Earth is flat. That's probably true. Brianna Wilson, learn from history, research the anthrax attacks and America Black Ops meant to stir up support for war. It's a good point. Cheryl Simpson, CNN and news media aren't to blame for the hate. It was there for years before he stoked it. I agree with that too. CNN is to blame for a lot of uninformed and misinformed people, but they're not to blame in total for this. DU. NBC already said it's Trump's fault. He's responsible for the bombs. I didn't see that, but I wouldn't put it past them. Eternal Soul, they hate you because you a truth teller. Thank you. Brianna, thank you. Please remember anthrax. I will. I'm gonna study that up tonight as I take a whiskey shot to numb my tooth. That's what I've been doing. GTA IV Man says, I have a relative who works for CNN. Sigh. They were just evacuated from the building. Nothing else, but I don't have sympathy for any of them. Bomb sent. Oh, were they evacuated again? I'm live, so I can't really confirm that. Blame game needs to end. Darth Curry, I'm refraining from an opinion until we know more. I think that's good. And I also think, listen, the bottom line is this. I think we could all agree this was strategically sent 2 weeks before the midterm elections. Today is 2 weeks before the midterm elections. I think, although we don't have the evidence, it's definitely somebody who wanted to terrorize. This is an act of terror. It is an act of terror. When you're sending bombs to large-scale buildings with hundreds of people in it, when you're sending bombs to former politicians and presidents, that's an act of terror. Terrorism isn't just planes flying into buildings. So, for pain like that, Jordan, a beautiful lady to massage your jaw. Don't get me in trouble, Mitch. Don't get me in trouble. There will be no women massaging my jaw. None. Although that sounds nice, so thank you, Mitch. I don't want to say anything because I'll get in trouble. Jen doesn't like when I talk out of turn. I need people to keep me in check. Sal Ducey says, Trump is a white supremacist, and a white supremacist always plays both sides of the issue. Today he will be mild-mannered, and then he will be at a rally saying the liberals did it. You know what? I think that is such an astute comment. Jen, is there a way that I could give $1 to him in the super chat? Because that is the best comment I've heard today. Trump is said somewhat of the right thing today, but I guarantee you 2 days from now, he will be out there blaming it on Nancy Pelosi. He'll say that it was Nancy Pelosi and the caravan that sent the bombs. Sal, you need your own channel because that was really smart. You're right. Cheryl says, Jennifer says, nobody deserves a bomb. Come on, yes, it's a crime. I don't care who it is. I completely agree. I've said from the beginning, I don't like any of the people that the bombs were sent to, but bombs should not be sent their way. Period. We do not answer neoliberalism with violence and bombs. Totalitarian TV, how did those bombs reach their destination and not be detected before in this surveillance? That's a good question, too. I've been to CNN's building, and they have some pretty top-notch security. Huasker P says, let's just hope he doesn't blame Iran. Let's hope. So, folks, before I move on, one more reminder to anyone who's come late. We're doing a live stream marathon on Sunday, noon Eastern, to launch Status Coup officially. We'll be launching statuscoup.com. We'll have some interesting content to show you. We'll have membership and tell you what you'll get out of joining us as a paid member. And we will also have interviews with Ty, Jen, and myself, showing you a little bit more about who we are. So join us noon Eastern Sunday. I will go live as long as I can. It's better than football, and it's better than brunch, I promise you. So, moving on, and again, super chat, keep it coming, and the GoFundMe. We're not close yet to our 15,000 goal. We want to get to 15,000 by the end of October, so we need your help. Even if it's $5, $10, $20, whatever. Oh, just got $50. Thank you, Anonymous, 18 minutes ago. So now we're up to 13,315. Can I hear 13,500 by the end of this live stream? I think so. And as a reminder, $200 gets you the Status Coup swag bag with goodies like a Status Coup pen, Status Coup shirt, maybe some things will be signed for you. God, and it's for men and women. Jen corrected me. It's for both. That is a badass bag. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So that's for $200. And if you can't contribute, at least share the video. Share the GoFundMe, that is. Thank you. So, in addition to the bombs that were sent yesterday, there was a Georgia governor. The bombs that were sent today, there were some bombs thrown on the Georgia debate stage last night, where Stacey Abrams, who would become the first black governor of Georgia if she defeats Secretary of State Brian Kemp, squared off against Brian Kemp. And before I get to the actual debate, Rolling Stone has uncovered audio basically showing Brian Kemp at a behind closed doors event saying he's concerned about Georgians exercising their right to vote. You can't make this up. So this is the Secretary of State who's already purged over 50,000 people, mostly black, while running for governor. So he's basically purging people that could vote for his opponent. Yeah, this is democracy, right? Talking about he's worried about Georgians exercising their right to vote. Let's hear it. Where'd you go? Oh, I gotta reload it. But when Ty is better, he's going to be producing my live streams, so I won't have to waste time trying to load stuff. So that's exciting. Here we go. As the page loads.
They are putting behind to get out the vote effort, and as worried as we were going into the start of early voting with the literally tens of millions of dollars that they are putting behind to get out the vote efforts for their base, a lot of that with absentee ballot requests. They have just an unprecedented number of that, which is something that continues to concern us, especially if everybody uses and exercises their right to vote, which they absolutely.
Oh my God, can you believe that? Hold on. Oh God, these ads. So you literally have him behind closed doors. This is the Secretary of State that is literally has purged over 50,000 Georgians, mostly black, saying he's worried about Georgians exercising their right to vote. Are there any laws in America anymore for elected officials? He's purged tens of thousands of black people off the rolls who could potentially vote for the first black black governor in Georgia. And now he's caught behind closed doors saying, oh, well, we're worried about voters exercising their right to vote during the election. This comes after this exchange during the debate last night. Here we go.
I grew up in a family that fought for the right to vote before they were old enough to do so. My father was arrested helping people register, and so I take the right to vote very seriously. I only believe that those who have the legal eligibility to vote should cast a ballot. But I also understand that under Secretary Kemp, more people have lost the right to vote in the state of Georgia. They've been purged, they've been suppressed, and they've been scared. This is a man who had someone arrested for helping her blind father cast a ballot. He raided the offices of organizations to stop them from registering voters. That type of voter suppression feeds the narrative, because voter suppression isn't only about blocking the vote. It's also about creating an atmosphere of fear, making people worry that their votes won't count. As the next governor of Georgia, I will work with the Secretary of State to ensure that there is no question that the right to vote in Georgia is not a privilege. It is indeed a right that belongs to those who are Georgia citizens, and I will work hard to make it so. Mr. Kemp, would you like to respond?
Yeah, well, that's just factually not true. 75% of the people, after you take off people that were pending, like my 17-and-a-half-year-old daughter was pending on the pending list. When she turned 18, she came off. When you take off people that had registered that had a potential double name. Or when you count people like Jesus from Heaven Street that are on these lists. They are on the pending list. No one's keeping them from voting. 75% of the people are being held because of something that was pre-cleared through the Obama Justice Department because their social security number didn't match. If they'd have used the online system that Ms. Abrams voted against, they would not be having this issue. She is blaming me for a problem that her group created.
Oh my God. And of course, the debate moderator didn't challenge the lies because moderators are just meant to be stooges. Did you notice that Jake Tapper of CNN, I know we can't criticize CNN today, but I'm going to do it anyway, just let Ron DeSantis just lie through his teeth during that debate with Andrew Gillum the other day. And Jake Tapper, frankly, didn't challenge Andrew Gillum about his moonwalking away from Medicare for all. So basically, in corporate media, debate moderators are kind of like mannequins. They just kind of sit there, look pretty, and let the candidates lie. That's basically what a debate moderator is. But first of all, Brian Kemp, who's the Secretary of State in Georgia, and it doesn't get more corrupt than this. You're the Secretary of State. You are running for governor and you're deciding who gets purged and who does not. He should basically have to recuse himself for anything having to do with this election because he is a candidate. So you're telling me that the tens of thousands of people that have been purged in Georgia, tens of thousands of black people, the majority of those have double names? Black people have more double names than white people? All these black people are pending because their social security numbers didn't match up. All these black people are pending because they wrote down Jesus from Heaven Street. If you buy anything that this criminal, he's a criminal, and I'm about to get to another story that shows you he's a criminal. You buy anything this criminal's saying, I got a tooth to sell you. See, root canal, tooth to sell you. Hey, MR Black, don't criticize Jake Tapper in this chat because my business partner, Jen, she's a journalist, and my business partner is in love with Jake Tapper. She'll pretend she's not, but she loves Jake Tapper. She has a poster of him on top of her bed. She loves her some Jake Tapper. She thinks he's cute. She thinks he's a real journalist. We have to work on her. So don't criticize Jake Tapper in this chat. Jen's blushing. She'll say I'm lying, but I'm not. So, I mean, other than Governor Jeb Bush basically helping to elect George Bush as president of the United States in 2000, because Jeb Bush was the governor of Florida, Kathleen Harris was the Secretary of State of Florida and was a co-chair on W's presidential campaign. Other than that, which Jeb Bush basically pushed heaven and earth to stop the recount, to stop votes from being counted, and of course the Supreme Court electing George Bush. I can't think of a more corrupt situation. You have the Secretary of State of Georgia is running to be the governor. He's purging black people off the rolls against what would be the first black governor of Georgia, a female too. I mean, are there no laws in the United States of America? Are there any conflict of interest laws? Shouldn't he have to recuse himself from anything having to do with purging? Shouldn't the voters who have been purged be put back on the rolls, considering they were purged while he was in consideration before he ran for governor too? But in the 2-year period of where these purges started happening under him, and then he ran for governor, they should be put on the rolls immediately because he has an incentive to purge voters so the will of the people is not met. Period. It's beyond corruption. This is beyond corruption, folks. Like, it makes what happened in 2000 in Florida, where Governor Jeb Bush at the time helped elect his brother, makes it look like child's play compared to this. And this comes as this story now has come out. Well, Mr. Kemp, who's purging black voters left and right, he owes more than $800,000 in insider loans to bank he helped start. Sometimes it feels who owes what has become the central theme of the governor's race. Political attack ads and counterattack ads about debt have flooded the airways, but our Fox 5 I-team has found some of Brian Kemp's company's debt is with the bank he helped start and now sits on the board of directors. And Kemp's staff didn't answer any detailed questions we asked about the loans. Fox 5 has already reported of Stacey Abrams' $50,000 debt to the IRS, and Brian Kemp is in a bitter lawsuit in which a company claims he promised to guarantee $500,000 in debt. But we decided to examine some $2 million worth of insider loans Kemp's companies borrowed from a bank he helped start. It was a financial freefall that America hadn't seen since the 1930s. In 2008, the stock market collapsed. People lost their homes. Massive banks went under. The Great Recession was underway. As the financial pain galvanized the country, companies linked to Georgia businessman Brian Kemp's companies, according to land records and candidate filings, began taking car, property, and real estate development loans totaling more than $2 million from a community bank in Athens, Georgia, First Madison Bank and Trust. It was a bank he knew well. Kemp was a founding board member and a stockholder. Kemp is a real estate investor and property manager. According to his financial disclosures, companies linked to Kemp borrowed millions from more than a half dozen banks. But we were curious about the loans with his own bank. These so-called insider loans, while perfectly legal, are heavily regulated. The banks argue this is an opportunity for the bank to have a strong loan on the books. Gandori says bank loans to insiders like Kemp are governed by Federal Reserve laws. He says some bankers like making these loans to wealthy board members and shareholders since they're good credit risk and wouldn't want to harm the bank, but others worry about insider loans for one main reason. Quote, there are potential conflicts of interest. The insiders could treat these loans as a private piggy bank. Well, if he owes $800,000 in insider loans to the bank he helped start, I would certainly call that Brian Kemp's personal piggy bank. So, I got to tell you, I call it like I see it. I take on the Democrats. I take on the Republicans. I don't really give a damn. I think the Democrats, I'm a little harder on the Democrats, frankly, because they're the party that claims to be for the working people. The Republicans don't pretend to be for working people. I mean, Donald Trump convinced working people he was for them. But overall, the Republican Party doesn't pretend. I mean, they pass tax cuts for the rich, and they wear it like a badge of honor. But honestly, folks, I am somebody who's seen a lot of corruption. I've been to 35 states and cities over the last 3 years. I have interviewed thousands of people. I have exposed corruption. I have not seen this level of corruption. I've not seen this level of corruption. And I just want to read the private message that I got from Athena, who just donated $50 to the GoFundMe. Thank you. She said, thank you for your support. The AA community, I assume she's talking about African American community, needs good and honest people as allies. Well, you got one. You got one. A lot of the issues I cover predominantly affect black people. And I think when you have a Secretary of State like Brian Kemp, who is purging tens of thousands of citizens, black citizens, from voting, issuing a potentially historic vote for the first black governor of Georgia, a woman, mind you, which is equally as great. It is criminal behavior. He should have zero say on who gets purged and who is eligible. And his nonsense answer in that debate about tens of thousands of people have double names, tens of thousands of people are being purged because their social security numbers don't match up, tens of thousands of people are getting purged because they wrote Jesus from Heaven Street. Get the fuck out of here. Whoop. There goes my monetization from YouTube. I really worry about what's going on in Georgia because it's a dead heat right now, according to the polls. And this is not just voter suppression. This is election fraud. It is election fraud. And if you remember me from the Young Turks, I covered a lot of election fraud. But when you have the Secretary of State purging all these black people because he doesn't want to lose to potentially the first black governor. And by the way, in the debate, he said if it goes to a recount, If it goes to, and right now it's 48 to 48, 48 percentage point to 48 percentage point. If it goes to a recount, he will not recuse himself from his role as Secretary of State. Are you crazy? So yeah, not only are we allowing the Secretary of State of Georgia, who's running for governor, are we allowing him to basically purge his opponent's voters, then we're going to allow him dictate the recount? And you say we live in a democracy? And all I hear from CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times is, oh my God, Russia attacking our democracy, holy democracy. This is an attack on our democracy, which we don't actually have. This is an attack on our brains and common sense. This is an attack on black people all over this country. And this is an attack on what's supposed to be the most sacred thing about being an American, and that's voting. Brian Kemp should immediately have to recuse himself from anything having to do with this election. The over 50,000 people that were purged off the rolls under him as Secretary of State should immediately be reinstated 2 weeks before the election. The Department of Justice, which isn't going to happen, should immediately open an investigation into Mr. Kemp's behavior. And there needs to be poll watchers and an historic amount of poll watchers at these polls with their cameras out. Because this election, if you're from Georgia, or if you're a black person watching, or if you're a white person watching, I'm telling you right now, he and the Republican Party are stealing this election from Stacey Abrams. Now, Stacey Abrams is a little more moderate than I am. I don't think she's necessarily a hardcore progressive, but I think she's better than this guy. And I would personally love to see history made and the first black person become governor of Georgia, which, if you know American history, Georgia has not been a friend to black people. It's terrible. All right, before I move on to the next topic, let's see where we're at, folks. We really got to get this GoFundMe moving because we're hitting the road next week, so we would definitely like to get more resources for that. All right, still at $13,315. As a reminder, $100, hat or shirt, $127, both, $200, swag bag with the goodies in there. I know it's tough to keep the urgency and the excitement and the momentum up. We have raised an incredible amount of money in just a little over a month. I'm excited that it's from 228 people. I'm equally excited that this has come without us even getting many people to share it. Like, we haven't gotten it shared by a lot of people with high followings. Frankly, we haven't asked yet. We have strategically not asked because we're waiting for a big story to come out, which is coming out, we believe, next week. So once that story is out, we're going to be pushing this very far. But thank you for everyone who's contributed. Keep it coming if you can. You don't, like, 5, 10, 20, it really helps. It really helps. If you can't do any more, if you can't do anything, that's fine too. And of course, it's a super chat. So if you're feeling super, hit me in the chat. And obviously, as this business keeps booming, I won't have to grovel as much as I'm groveling now. But we need seed money, so if I got to grovel, I'll grovel. Now, Joe says, I donated yesterday to the GoFundMe for your twerking show on Sunday. I will twerk. If you're happy and you know it, twerk your hat. Yes, Sunday, 12 p.m. If you come into this late, Sunday, 12 p.m. Be here or be square. YouTube.com/statuscoup. We're launching the website. We'll have original reporting on the website. We will have a promo video, which Ty is finishing up right now. It looks badass. We're going to have introductory videos with Ty, Jen, myself, and we will take your questions, comments, concerns. What stories do you want us to get out in the field and cover? What do you want to hear from us? What do you want out of Status Coup? Because we want to give the microphone back to the people. It's not a cheesy slogan. It's what we believe. We want you to have the microphone that corporate media has stripped away. www.statuscoup.com will launch Sunday, noon Eastern. Be there or fuck you. How about that? Cheryl says, as I say, you and Jen and Ty could do this from a cruise ship and tell the world about what happens on cruise ships and the garbage that gets dumped out into the ocean. I've seen it. Endo, let's roll, baby. cover the sugar epidemic. I do want to cover the sugar epidemic. There's a big sugar business in Florida, and it's very corrupt. Just need the money. Did I just read your bag correctly? Did it say coup? Nothing like overthrowing your government just because your team didn't win. Now, if it was a completely nonpartisan thing, I'd get it. Gerard, this is status coup because we need a coup d'etat of the status quo, a journalistic coup d'etat. This is not a government overthrow. This is not violent. We are launching a coup d'etat, a journalistic coup d'etat of the status quo. And if you don't like it, Jared, sorry. Sorry. So, and hopefully my tooth will be a little better by Sunday, because right now it's hard to talk as long as I'm talking. So, one last story for you. And Facebook, I haven't forgotten about you. Let's read some comments from Facebook. Hi, Jordan. Will Ty be with you on Sunday? In spirit, he will. And we're going to have an interview Ty and I are doing. So I'll toss to that. So Ty will be with us in spirit. He won't be here with me physically because he could barely move his neck. City had no explanation for 8K. I don't know what that means, Virginia, but I love you anyway. And Virginia from Flint, got a big story coming out next week, so buckle up. Buckle up. That's the tease. Big story. So, has Ty even had an x-ray yet? No, he's getting an MRI tomorrow. So, last story. Did you know Americans' life expectancy have gone down? Doesn't shock me, folks. Doesn't shock me. In 2016, the U.S. ranked 43rd among 195 nations with an average lifespan of 78.7 years. By 2040, Americans are forecast to only live 1.1 more years to 79.8, while dropping 21 spots in the global ranking of 195 countries to 64th, as other nations make faster gains, according to recently released data from the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation. The drop in the U.S. is the most for high-income countries. Indeed, life expectancy in the U.S. is expected to be only slightly better than that of Bangladesh, a country with considerably lower income. Yet Bangladesh will have made a significant stride of having 6.7 more years in average lifespan by 2040. The Western Hemisphere as a whole is expected to lose standing in the world as life expectancy in other areas grow at a faster pace. China, with a lifespan of 76.3 years in 2016, is expected to increase to 81.9, raising its ranking from 68th to 39th in 2040. While China is expected to crack into top 40, Kuwait, Taiwan, Maldives will all drop out of the top 40, out of the 40 longest living economies. In 2040, Spain, fourth ranked in 2016, is expected to take the top spot from Japan. Singapore and Switzerland rounded out the above 85 club. So the United States, supposedly the number one nation in all of humanity and all of human history and all of the world, we're going to be dropping 21 spots in the global rankings of 195 countries to 64th, and we are now comparable to Bangladesh. Why is that, folks? Colin T, gosh dang, no notifications again. Of course. YouTube, shall we say, FewTube. And that's why, folks, in addition to the announcement of the Sunday live stream, I am making the announcement that we are going to be live every day, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. Eastern. That will be our call time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Obviously, when I'm in the field, that might change here and there, depending on the story, depending on interviews, things like that. But when I'm here in New York, we will be going live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So even if YouTube doesn't notify you, I'm notifying you. And we will be going live on statuscoup.com as well. So get ready for that. We'll be live on statuscoup.com, in addition to FewTube, Facebook, and Periscope. So why is it that our life expectancy is going down? Why is it that we're comparable to Bangladesh? Not exactly known as a booming first world country. Could it be that half the people in this country are starving and poor? Could it be that, majority of the people don't have insurance or are under insurance? Zachary Kirkpatrick, 11 p.m. West Europe for me. Oh no, Zachary! Oh, am I pissing off my European supporters with 5 p.m. Eastern? Maybe we'll take a poll. What's the best time for people? Maybe we'll do a poll. What's the best time for people? I was thinking 5 p.m. Eastern because that's good for me. And it gives me time to do research and report during the day. It also gives me time to go to physical therapy to keep my back strong. But maybe we'll do a poll to make sure that what time I'm going is good for the majority of people. Follow Jordan on Twitter and get notifications, and you'll know when he's live next time. Zachary Kirkpatrick, nah, it's cool. I work at home. Good for me. Sounds good. And by the way, thank you to another anonymous contributor 6 minutes ago left $100. So now we're at $13,415. Can we make it to 13,500 by the end of the live stream? I think we can. Let's do it, folks. I need a root canal. Thank you. But let me tell you something, folks. America's life expectancy going down is attributed to half the people are hungry, half the people don't have health care, a lot of the people are underinsured, and most people don't even have enough money for real, healthy, nutritious meals. Wow. You know what? At some point, I'm going to have to do a viewer video just thanking the viewers who are making this possible. We just got another amazing donation in the GoFundMe. Thank you. Gene just donated $200. So you are getting this badass swag bag. You're getting that swag bag with goodies and signed goodies in there, including status Coup pens and other things. So thank you, Gene. Remember, for the people that have contributed $100, $127, or $200, email Jordan at protonmail.com. Email Jordan at protonmail.com. Your shirt size, your hat size, and your address. We need that to send you everything, and we need that to get you the right thing. So thank you. We are now at 13,000, I believe 13,615, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It's showing up in my email, but it's not showing up on the GoFundMe yet, so we'll see about that. So, what is a common thing in these countries that have a higher life expectancy than us? Say it with me now. Single-payer health care. Their governments cover them and their health care because the government actually cares if the people can see a doctor. The government actually cares to make sure that people don't die if they have cancer or some illness. A lot of these countries that are rising on the life expectancy have health care for their people. You know what healthcare does? Healthcare and not having to worry about the money for healthcare, you know what that does? It diminishes stress. Do you know what stress does? It shortens your lifespan. I should know. I've got a lot of it, and I've had a lot of it for years. A lot of these countries with higher life expectancies in the United States work less because they have better employment laws, and they get more vacation time. It's not rocket science, folks. So when you keep on hearing from the Democrats or Trump, make America great again, or America was already great, they're both bullshit. Because this country is about profit first. This country is about profit for the pharmaceutical companies, profit for the big banks, profit for big pharma, and profit for Silicon Valley. Profit for big real estate developers, and all of those people are stripping you of your economic opportunity, of your health care. I mean, hell, for this tooth that I have to get out, they just started the root canal, but I have to go for another one. That's why it hurts. $3,000. $3,000 for the root canal and then the crown that they have to put in. because I don't have dental insurance. And by the way, even with medical insurance, it would cost a lot. So a lot of people can't afford that. I could barely afford it. A lot of people, basically, capitalism is killing us. Darth Corey, bingo, bingo. Capitalism is killing us. Very astute. Very astute. But when America, which has the money, we have the money for healthcare. We have the money to curb poverty. We have the money to curb homelessness. When America, and we are dropping, let me repeat this, folks. We are going to be dropping 21 spots. 21 spots in the global ranking of 195 countries by 2040. We got to start looking at our government officials that are causing us to die earlier. When you don't have enough vacation time, when you don't have health care to curb your stress, to curb illness, when you don't have time or money to exercise, when you don't have time and money for leisurely activities and pleasure, it all in totality diminishes your lifespan and expectancy. That's a fact. When you don't have money for preemptive screening for cancer or mammograms or all these things that could kill you, and many people have family history for, what happens? What happens? And Jen, there it is. So now we are at 13,615. We want to get to 15,000 by the end of October. That gives us 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 35th. 7 days, less than $1,500. Can we do it, Jen? Do you think we could do it? Yeah, I love how Jen shows up in the live stream when we make money, but not when I called her out for loving Jake Tapper. Folks, we need less than $1,500 to get to our goal for October. I think we could do it. But I'm worried about this country. And believe it or not, I fight for this country every day. I fight for this country every day by trying to expose the truth. But when you start seeing our life expectancy going down because our government is basically a band of criminal mafiosos that are stealing your money and hoarding all the profits, all the health care. Oh, our government officials have wonderful health care. They got wonderful benefits. They get plenty of vacation time because they're barely in session ever. Paul says Jordan is not red nor blue. I am not either. Cheryl says they do have metal-free implants for root canals, Jordan. Email Jordan at protonmail.com. Send me whatever I need to avoid another $1,500. Phil Presky, holy crap, dude Jordan, I have been searching for your live stream every 10 minutes and you guys just showed up. What the fuck? Phil, let me explain to you what's going on. YouTube is censoring this channel and other progressive media. That's why we will be going live on statuscoup.com in addition to YouTube, and we are aiming, this is negotiable, but we are aiming to go live at 5 p.m. Eastern daily. So you put it into your calendar and smoke it. 5 p.m. Eastern daily, starting next week. That will fluctuate sometimes if we're in the field. Jen and I are going into the field next week for a major story. Not telling you where, not telling you when yet, but we will be telling you, and it is a big, big story. Drop it here too so we all will know. Yes, but I'm telling you, everybody, 5 p.m. Eastern daily, put it in your phones, put it in your calendar, put it on the refrigerator, 5 p.m. Eastern. This is a story I have championed. This is a people I have championed. Redelf says, why so secret? Jen, why so secret? Can you tell him why so secret? Let's just say there have been forces. There have been forces that are very big that have gone out of their way to stop this story from getting out. They've already killed the story twice. So we are not talking about it until it's published. And when it's published, I will give you every little dirty secret of the forces that tried to stop this story. because it will say a lot about our government and it will say a lot about our media as well. Jared Blazek says, okay, sir, I just listened real quick to one of your other videos and I spoke too quick. I agree with your lobbyist video that I just watched. My apologies for judging you too quickly. I'll check more videos. Jared, all good. Don't judge a Jew by its cover. Oh, a book. And Mr. Black says, YouTube, the real Nazi fascist state. You know what? Honestly, look it up. One of the precipitating factors for fascism is censorship. And YouTube is censoring certain channels and voices. DW Rose, what story is it that you can't tell us? Haha. I just told you I can't tell you yet. Maybe on Sunday? During the marathon launch of statuscoup.com. Be there, noon Eastern. Maybe I'll tell you then. If Jen allows me. If Jen lets me say it, I'll do it. I just work here. Jen's the boss. I'm just a humble servant of the people. Jen's the boss. Brianna Wilson says, I hope Jordan really does look into the false flag anthrax attack and then considers the mail bomber situation. I think it steams to the high heavens. Brianna, I'm going to make a deal with you. I haven't taken my bath today. I'm going to take it tonight. And I'm going to Google and look up the history of the anthrax attacks and mailbags, and then I'll get back to you. Cheryl Simpson's bigger than Flint. Whoa. Cheryl, let's just say, when this is published, you will all understand what I've been talking about for the last few months. Come on, Jen. Paul says, why do we live in this bad sci-fi movie? Because we have evil, evil, evil people on the Starship Galactica. Jordan, Robbie Martin's documentary, We Started, gets into it. I don't know what you're talking about. Edwin, will you be on 9 Pacific time every Sunday? Edwin, I do need a day of relaxation. I can't work every day. I'll be live this Sunday, live marathon. We're doing a live marathon because we're launching statuscoup.com. And by the way, Jen is working 24 hours a day to work out the kinks, along with Albert, who has been amazing. The reason it took so long for the website, folks, keeping it real, we have a great guy named Albert Parada. He's a viewer, he's a supporter, and he offered to do the website for free. And hey, startups need free things. So he's doing the website, but we had to wait for him because he has a full-time job. So he's been doing it on weekends and here and there. So Albert was nice enough to basically donate to us the website. So we love Albert, and we'll talk more about him on Sunday. Jessica says, can't wait to hear how far up the chain this goes. Feel like we got news blue balls the last time. LOL. Jessica, I would never give you blue balls. Never, ever. So, before I go, I want to make an important note if you came to this late. I am against neoliberalism. I am against fake progressives that offer us platitudes while giving us crumbs. I am against the Democratic Party, who has become a party of war, a party of big banks, a party of big oil, a party of Silicon Valley, a party of big real estate, a party of big pharma instead of the people. I am against the Republican Party of extremist religious fanatics, of vulture capitalists, and military-industrial neocons. But what I am not for is any violence at all. If you tweet at me enjoying bombs being sent to people, if you joke around about it, we don't want you as a viewer. We could agree to disagree on some things, but this is non-negotiable for me. Violence is not the answer ever. That's why we named it Status Coup and made sure you knew it is a journalistic coup d'etat. Bring your voices, bring your facts, and we will topple the oligarchy together. We will. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think we could. But violence is where it stops. There could be no violence attached to journalistic movements, political movements, because that's how they win. If we go violent, they double up and start killing everyone. Thank you, Jerry Young. $2 in the super chat. Where do you hang your cap? In my bathtub. In my bathtub. So, folks, I will be back at 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. And I'm going to be live 5 p.m. Eastern time every single day. And maybe I'll do some Sunday fun days from time to time. But this Sunday, noon Eastern, if you're not there, I wonder what you're doing with your life. We're doing a marathon, baby, to launch statuscoup.com. Duder says, makes me proud to be a Patreon. Jordan, keep it up, brother. Thank you. Let me tell you something. And I'm going to talk more about this. I'm going to talk more about this on Sunday. But, and Jen could talk about this too, because we discussed it a couple days ago. Let me tell you something, folks. In life, I don't want to get cheesy, but I have to. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of one of the more difficult periods in my life. I don't think I need to really get into it. You all know what I'm talking about. I was falsely smeared with some really, really vile things said about me. I was let go from my job. I was smeared all over the internet. A lot of bad things were going on, and most of it was out of my control. In November and December of last year, Jen could tell you because she stuck with me through that time. There was no way that I could see in less than a year from then, 20 almost 22,000 YouTube subscribers, a GoFundMe with over 200 people contributing already, and almost $14,000 in a month. The ability to get not the funding we need, but some funding to get out there and do what I love. An audience that not only cares about me because of the politics I cover and the issues I cover, but just values truth and looks into things and doesn't just believe anything put out there. As I'm sure all of you know, whether it's having lies said about you or getting fired from a job or a health scare, there's sometimes in life when terrible things happen, it kind of feels permanent. It doesn't feel like the cloud will lift. It doesn't feel like you'll ever be able to get back to what you love or where you were. But to be honest with you, I've already explained my thoughts as far as what happened. I don't spend my time thinking about the Young Turks or what happened there. I don't like how it ended. But to be honest with you, as difficult as the last year has been for me, I'm so much happier right now than I ever was then. I'm so much happier pursuing journalistic truth my way. I am so much happier answering not to a boss or a company, but to viewers. And I am so much happier. I'm so much happier having an audience that I think is here because they believe in what. And by the way, it really isn't about me. I mean, sure, I have an ego. I mean, anyone who goes on YouTube probably does. But it really isn't about me. I want the people in Flint and the other places I go, and you, when I eventually go to your community, I want you to have exposure. I want your stories to get out there. I want your injustice to get out there. And that was the most difficult thing about a year ago, almost a year ago, because, and Jen could tell you, when I was let go and I wasn't able to get out in the field and I had to get back surgery and all these things happened, I felt that the communities that I champion and the stories I champion were basically left to die. Nobody was covering it anymore. Thank you, Jay1999. Keep doing what you do, Jordan. So I'll get cheesy on Sunday. I'll get cheesier on Sunday, but I just wanted to say thank you because I did not see this. I did not see this happening a year ago. Frankly, Jen could tell you, I could barely smile. I was in a bad place. But I think that at the end of the day, if you have truth on your side, if you have the truth on your side, whether it be about what happened in that case or just facts, the truth always wins. It's a stubborn thing. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I value the early supporters more than anybody else because the people that came to this channel early When I came out of here, I think I launched this channel at the end of February, and a lot of people came late because they didn't even know I had a channel thanks to YouTube and their suppression. So I'm not, I love everybody. But, you know, to know that people value this reporting, to know that people care about me and Jen and Ty, to know that people actually look at facts and look into my eyes and look at who I am, not by my words, but by my actions, means a lot to me. We are the special purple screen folks. Yeah, maybe we'll make a shirt, the purple screen. If you remember, for a while, I was getting scrambled purple screens. Oh, those are the days. So, enough with my cheesiness. Thank you for watching. And remember, folks, most people are not lacking compassion. Most people do not know what the fuck is going on. Peace.